I'm going to teach you how to make the fastest silver in Albion Online. However, you do need silver to use this method, and it comes with the risk of entering the red zone. Now, if you're very good at navigating the red zone and being careful and watching the hostile player counts in the bottom right corner of red zones, you'll be absolutely fine. However, if you're a player like me that does not want to risk anything at all, then this method won't really work for you. And let me explain what this method is. This method is taking items that are cheaper in certain cities and transporting them to and from Caerleon. Now let me explain why this works, okay? So Caerleon is the town in the middle of the Royal Zone. The only way to get to Caerleon is to go through a red zone, which is a full loot PvP zone, alright? So what this means is that not everyone is willing to go to transport goods into it or out of it, because there is the risk of losing everything you're transporting. Now, Caerleon's specialty is, well, gathering gear, tools, food, potions, and war gloves. For the sake of this video, gathering gear, tools, and war gloves are generally way too heavy to transport large amounts, but food and potions aren't, okay? Food and potions don't weigh very much, and the cool thing about this is that Caerleon has a high demand of raw materials to make food and potions, but the potions and the food that is cooked does not sell nearly as much in Caerleon as it does outside, and let me show you what I mean by that. So, here I have a small, let me show it on the screen here, that's the wrong thing. Here I have a text file where I just took the prices. These are just randomly picked things out of my brain. There is nothing special about these items, okay? So in Caerleon, a minor poison potion sells for 713, right? But in Bridgewatch, a minor poison potion sells for 838. So if you were to buy 10,000 potions from Caerleon, transport it to Bridgewatch, and sell them, that's an instant 110 silver profit per item, which may not sound like much, but when you're transporting thousands and thousands at a time, it really does add up, okay? So, but with that said also, how long does it take to move from Bridgewatch or another town to Caerleon? I can run from Bridgewatch to Caerleon in under 4 minutes. Now, I don't know how long it takes for the other cities, but it won't be more than 5 minutes. So you can do little 5-minute runs back and forth and make hundreds of thousands of silver, or even more if you have a bigger transport, alright? So let's look at my examples here. I'm going to throw them up on the screen. Now, this is just a rough estimate. This does not factor in the tax costs of buying and selling. So the numbers are a little bit smaller, but it is rounded and it is estimated, okay? So it's not exact. But if you were to buy in Caerleon minor poison potions for 713 silver each, and you bought 4,000 of them, which is about a tier 6 ox with, you know, a bag and boots, and of course you'd be wearing armor because you're transporting. And then if you sell it in Bridgewatch, which I don't know if Bridgewatch has the best selling rate. It was just the first town I picked, okay? What you would normally do is go to every town and compare prices and sell at the town that has the best deal, okay? So if other towns are selling minor poison potions for more than 838, you would obviously sell there, not in Bridgewatch. This is just an example if I sold in Bridgewatch, okay? So to buy 4,000 minor poison potions will cost me 2.8 million to buy, okay? But when I sell it, I will gain 3.352 million. And in 5 minutes' time, that makes me 500,000 silver, which, well, the amount of times you can do it in 1 hour would make me 6 million silver, of course. Now, if you were to do this consistently all day long, eventually the markets will even out where the prices are kind of similar due to supply and demand. So it's not something you can do infinitely on one thing, but there are so many different foods and potions in the game that if you're willing to transport back and forth, then you will make profit every time you do it, assuming you don't get ganked, okay? But let's say you do get ganked, okay? The amount of trips you have to spend to just break even is 6. So that means after 6 successful runs, everything after that is profit. But if you die, if you get ganked doing these runs, you lose 30 minutes of your time transporting. You lose that 2.852 million, which would take you 6 trips of gaining 500,000 each, essentially, to break even or be slightly above even. So that is the risk for this. But we can look at other goods too, because maybe minor poisons aren't the best thing. Let me give you the pros and cons real quick too. Alright, so the pros are that it's easy to do, anyone can do it, you just have to literally hold right click or use auto run in a direction, okay? There's no fame or gear requirements other than wearing bags, a boot, and a mount, which would be an ox or possibly a bear. I wouldn't recommend a mammoth. You'll have 100 dudes collapse on you and take that thing from you. It's fast. It's actually quite fast. It's like 3 to 4 minutes if you're quick. 5 minutes if there's gankers about, or if you want to be extra safe or take a longer route around. Okay. Now, it's semi-safe if you're experienced with the red zone, or if you're just a lucky person, okay? Which also means if you're not experienced or you're very unlucky, like me, then a 10-man gang squad might just suddenly zone in, use their ESP hacks to find you and immediately just murder you and take all your stuff, okay? It happens. Now, this is the fastest silver in the game, bar none. Like, if you're like a multi-master crafter, you might be able to make more silver, but essentially this is the de facto way of making fast silver immediately, alright? Because the more money you have, the more money you can make, and the more you can transport, the faster you're going to make it. Now, the bad things about it is that you don't really gain fame for doing this, you don't gain faction rep, you don't really progress your character in any meaningful way other than getting more money. Which might be good for you, but for me, I like to compound my earnings. I want to be earning fame while I earn silver. I want to earn faction rep while I earn fame and silver, and so on, right? By doing this all day, every day, all you're doing is getting more money and nothing else. Dying can be really crippling for poor players. Like, if you make a new character and you all in all of your silver to do this, and then you get ganked, you're back to square one. You're back to picking up rocks naked in Martlock and selling them until you can get a mule and start all over again. It's very painful. So don't put all your eggs in one basket and do this. This is for people who have expendable income, who want to make money fast, for maybe there's like something they want to buy or something they can't quite afford it, okay? Bots and third-party programs already do this, and they do it faster. So let me explain that real quick, okay? Bots mostly use mammoths to travel between the non-Caerleon cities. So real quick, let me just show you what I mean by that. All right. So if we open the map here, we're in Bridgewatch. What happens is someone will use a third-party program to scan the markets of all of the safe towns. Okay, because if I travel from Bridgewatch here to Limhurst, I can just do it through blue and yellow zones. There's zero risk of me losing my loot, right? So these bots, they scan the markets of both towns, and they decide, and they figure out exactly, you know, what can I buy in Bridgewatch that sells for more in Limhurst. And then their bot will load up an entire mammoth full of that product and then walk it to Limhurst and then list it for sale, and they will just do this all day long, 24/7, going between all of the cities until the markets are almost evenly balanced, okay? And yes, there's players that manually do this too, but the people that I know that run these bots, what they do is, and this gold spammer here is in every town saying the same copy-paste. It's super scammy. Anyway, never give your money to someone and expect more money, obviously. But that's not what the video is about. The video is about, if you manually did this on a mammoth, you will only make 1 million an hour. And a mammoth costs 166 million right now. So, and that's only going up. But bots also do it for Caerleon, but they don't use mammoths because that would be a huge loss. They just use oxes, and they do smaller transports. So there are bots that will, say, for instance, buy out potion materials in Bridgewatch, transport to Caerleon, list it, which sells super fast because it's Caerleon. Then they buy potions already made in Caerleon, run them back to Bridgewatch, and sell them there. It's not as not as much as the Yellow Zone ones, because the bot owners have to factor in that risk, right? And generally, people that are botting will target other botters, because why wouldn't they? The point is that doing this manually will take you time, and there are people out there doing this far faster and more efficiently. I don't have access to the bots. I don't have access to these third-party programs that scan the markets automatically and print out a nice little Word document that shows you all the most profitable things to buy and sell. There's also people that do that for the Caerleon black market. This is not a video about the black market trades. This is simply about buying low and selling high in other towns. So with that said, that's pretty much all I've got. I just want to show off this little text document again. This is just from one town and just random things. Like, for instance, Burdock is 433 in Caerleon. It's 420 in Bridgewatch, so that's not very much. That's 13 silver each. That's not really worth it. Comfrey is the same price in both towns, so that's 0. There's no point to buy that one. Wheat is, you know, it's actually 1 silver more in Bridgewatch for some reason, but flour was a big one that I found, okay? In Caerleon, it's 298 silver, but in Bridgewatch, flour is 361. Flour, you know, people get a bonus for making flour in Caerleon, so that's why I checked it. So that's decent. That's like 70 silver right there, and flour's pretty lightweight, I think. You can carry a bunch of it. Cabbages, here's another big one. In Caerleon, they cost 420, whereas in Bridgewatch, they're 337. So that's a 90 silver profit right there. And then if you go to the completed foods, cabbage soup, 3,200 in Caerleon, but it sells for 4,000 in Bridgewatch. So that's an 800 silver profit per soup. All right, so that's pretty big. If you buy like thousands and thousands of soups, you know, 4,000 times 800. Let's do that. 4,000 soups times 800 silver per soup. That's 3.2 million profit per trip. I know soup is much heavier than just cabbages. So I don't know if you can transport 4,000 at a time, but you get what I'm saying. And then beef stew is, again, 3,200 something in Caerleon, 4,126 in Bridgewatch. So there is lots of profit to be made. Lots of profit to be made. You just have to do the transporting. That's all you got to do. It's not hard. You just go run to each town. You can fast travel there naked immediately. You know, you don't have to actually manually travel there to check prices. Once you have your prices checked, you jot them down, and you compare the towns, and then you just do what's most profitable or what you're most comfortable traveling, and it's just a super insane fast amount of silver. That's all I've got for you guys. Hopefully you can use this and make lots of silver. Back in the day when Albion had hundreds of thousands of people playing all at once, there were plenty of people doing this, and all of the markets pretty much evened out. But currently, I guess players have gotten rich or lazy, or they don't know of this method or something, and so the markets are kind of wilding right now, which is a good time to get into it and make some silver, because it's free silver right there for the taking. All you got to do is transport it and not die on the way. I'm Soul Benji. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Hopefully, let me know how much silver this method made you. Let me know if you got ganked and brutally murdered, okay? I'm not making this video to try to like get people killed in the red zones or anything. I really don't want to see that happen. But I know there's people that want to take the risk and make fast money, and if you need that fast money, like you got loan sharks that are about to dump, give you the old concrete boots and dump you off the river, the Albion River, in game, of course, not in real life. You need that fast silver, then there you go. That's a fast way of doing it. Make sure you leave a comment. I read every comment, so feel free to ask me any questions, okay? And make sure you reply to other people's comments as well. Talk to each other. I want to see every single comment replied to, alright guys? But also, make sure you're subscribed, because I make videos every single day. You don't want to miss tomorrow's video. And if you want to financially support me, then click the thanks button down below. Leave a monetary donation. It highlights how much you donated, okay? One guy donated 50 Filipino pesos, and it just highlighted his comment super green, really bright. Everyone was, cheering for him and stuff. It was really cool, right? And, it costed him 92 cents to do that. So, because that's the conversion rate from pesos to US dollars. But with that said, if you want to support me further, you can become a channel member. Have you ever subscribed to anyone on Twitch for that $5 a month? You can do that on YouTube. It's called becoming a channel member. It's $5 a month. Click the join button down below, but you'll get access to private, more personal videos. One of those videos is how to be a YouTuber, how to do search engine optimization, what programs to record, edit, the settings I use, how I do everything for tags, titles, thumbnails, all in a 40-minute video, very snappy. I think it's worth the $5. I basically made it for myself if I get amnesia and forget who I am, that I can still, do this. That's how detailed that video is. So give that a check. Check it out if you want. There's a playlist in the pinned comments that show all of the members-only videos. If any of those videos interest you at all for any of the games I cover, then feel free to become a channel member. Or if you just want to help me out, thank you so much. I will see you in tomorrow's video. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out. Take care.